All right, let's get right into it. Welcome, everyone. Consider me your senior consultant for today's Masterclass Explainer. Now, we are completely shifting how you approach project management. Look, traditional risks, like standard experimental errors or budget overruns, you already know how to handle those. But today we are architecting robustness. We're going to upgrade your entire mindset so you can successfully handle systemic AI risk. It's a whole new ballgame, so let's get started.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've got 5 core modules to conquer today to really calibrate your professional AI judgment skills. We'll quickly run through rethinking risks, mapping the AI risk landscape, assessment and mitigation strategies, some incredibly useful real-world case studies, and finally, mastering incident response. Starting off with Module 1, rethinking AI research risks. And guys, this really is a total paradigm shift because AI adds an entirely new category of hazards driven by sheer unpredictability, massive scale, and honestly, the difficulty of even explaining how these algorithms behave. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what I mean. Think of traditional risk management like taking a single car journey, right? You check the brakes, you plan your route, you drive carefully. Managing AI risk, however, is a completely different beast. It's literally like designing an entire city's transportation infrastructure. You aren't just driving, you're engineering the whole highway system, anticipating emergent traffic behaviors, and managing systemic citywide impacts. Listen to this, because it absolutely nails the problem. An experimental error in a lab affects the 50 people in your trial. An algorithmic error in an AI system that's been deployed at scale affects thousands. I mean, the machine-scale consequences of unmanaged AI are genuinely terrifying. A simple algorithmic error doesn't just crash a program anymore. It can lead to common hallucinations, like confidently generating entirely fake citations or fabricating completely bogus statistics across thousands of automated outputs before a human ever even notices. So let's move right into Module 2, the AI risk landscape. Before you can manage anything, you have to identify the minefield. Leading institutions are already proactively separating these into very distinct categories. And here are those key categories. We're talking data risks, like massive privacy breaches, technical risks, like unexpected system failures, algorithmic bias, transparency risks from relying on completely opaque systems, plus your standard cybersecurity threats, intellectual property disputes, and research integrity violations. Now, do not make the common rookie mistake of compartmentalizing these. Don't sit there and say, well, that's a technical problem, not a social one. Because in AI, everything is connected. A data risk instantly becomes a reputational risk, and a reputational risk is a business risk. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the concept of epistemic risks. It's kind of a fancy, counterintuitive term, but it basically just means institutional overconfidence. It's the danger of claiming you know exactly how an AI black box works when actually you don't. It's failing to highlight system limitations, which then allows your tools to be wildly misinterpreted by the public or by policymakers. Honest risk management means raising your hand and admitting what you just don't know. And then we have cascade and reuse risks. This is huge. Imagine you design a brilliant, well-intentioned optimization tool for logistics. Great, but then someone else downloads it and repurposes it for, say, discriminatory surveillance. You have to remember, you are still professionally and sometimes legally tied to what happens when your research leaves the lab and enters the real world. Okay, Module 3, Assessment and Mitigation Strategies. If I were sitting down with your executive leadership today to protect your reputation and legal standing, this is the exact corporate playbook I'd hand them. It breaks down into 4 logical steps. Step 1, identify. Ask yourself, what could actually go wrong here? Step 2, assess the probability and the impact of those failures. Step 3, prioritize. You have to focus relentlessly on the high-severity risks. In fact, here's a really quick mental checklist for you. Always evaluate the task risk versus the AI's capability. If the task is super high stakes, but the AI's capability is still unproven, you prioritize mitigating that immediately. And finally, step 4, mitigate. Remember, risk assessment is an ongoing evolution. It is not just a one-time approval gate you check off at the start of a project. As your senior consultant, I want you looking at mitigation through these 4 specific lenses. Avoidance means having the guts to scrap unacceptably dangerous research. Reduction means actually building in audits and encryption. Acceptance means you're deliberately proceeding because the benefits clearly justify the risks. And transfer means offloading that risk to insurance or specialized secure cloud providers. Crucially, though, if you are relying on acceptance or transfer, it must always be explicitly documented. Look, The most crucial point here is that sophisticated risk management assumes your system will eventually be used in ways you never anticipated. That makes these safeguards completely non-negotiable. You absolutely need ongoing, real-time monitoring, strict human alert thresholds, comprehensive documentation of system limitations, and above all, built-in circuit breakers so you can instantly pull the plug the second things go sideways. Let's ground some of these dense frameworks, shall we? Moving into Module 4, Real-World AI Case Studies. Time to put this theory into practice with some concrete vignettes. Case 1, a massive research university. They audited their entire campus-wide AI portfolio. They built a centralized risk register, demanded incredibly strict scrutiny for new proposals, and put together a multidisciplinary oversight committee. We're talking legal, IT, and senior faculty. By doing this, they successfully proved to their giant funding bodies that they handle incidents with absolute professional rigor. Case 2 is a medical research institution. Now, the stakes here are quite literally life or death. We're talking about high-risk clinical AI managing diagnostics and hospital resource allocation. A biased algorithm in this setting doesn't just cause a minor PR headache, right? It causes catastrophic patient harm and opens the hospital up to massive legal liability and ethical nightmares. Let's move to and see how this builds off our earlier framework. To tackle those terrifying risks, the hospital put in uncompromising rules. Every single AI tool needs validation against rigorous clinical standards, comprehensive demographic bias testing to ensure fairness, total transparency to the patients, and, this is key, mandatory human clinician oversight. The AI recommends, the human decides. End of story. Case 3 involves a university spinning off a tech company to commercialize their AI. Their leadership had this completely valid, massive fear. What if our perfectly legitimate optimization tool gets purchased and then weaponized downstream by bad actors for malicious practices? I mean, imagine the public relations nightmare. Well, their proactive approach was phenomenal. They locked it down with restrictive terms of use, mandatory vetting for every single customer, continuous monitoring, and strict audit rights. But the most important tactic? They legally retained absolute termination authority. Retaining the power to just terminate a client's access on the spot is the ultimate institutional circuit breaker. Which brings us to our final section, Module 5, Mastering Incident Response. Because, let's be blunt, when things go wrong, chaos is the absolute enemy of trust. Despite all your amazing mitigation efforts, an AI incident will inevitably happen. And before we even talk about response, we need to coach you out of these massive pitfalls. Do not just ignore risks until disaster strikes. Do not operate in the shadows without transparency. Do not paralyze your organization with overly conservative risk avoidance. And please, whatever you do, do not shift all the liability onto the shoulders of one junior scientist. AI risk management is a shared institutional responsibility. So when the alarm bells do ring, this is your crisis timeline. Step 1 is immediate response, containment, stop the bleeding. Step 2 is investigation and fact-finding. Step 3 is remediation, which means fixing the broken system and actually helping the victims. Step 4 is systemic analysis and learning. And Step 5 is communication. Having this plan documented beforehand is the only thing that prevents a chaotic, trust-destroying reaction from your institution. When it is finally time to communicate, follow these rules strictly. Give a factual description of what happened. Draw very clear boundaries between what you know for sure and what you're still investigating. Detail the exact impact, the immediate actions you've taken, and precisely how affected parties are being supported. Guys, honest, transparent, and timely communication is practically your only lifeline to salvage stakeholder confidence during a massive failure. I want to conclude this masterclass by leaving you with a direct, provocative challenge. Look at the AI research or deployment you are managing right now. Seriously, think about it. What are your 3 highest risk failure modes? And exactly what would you do if each one occurred tomorrow morning? Think about it. Build your framework. Architect your robustness. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning and stay ahead of the curve.